Sociopolitics of Bilingualism. Introduction. Now we are going to move into another dimension of bilingualism, a very important dimension in the coming modules, and that is of sociopolitics of bilingualism. So the questions that we would be exploring is, what about the language choices that are made in a multilingual context? Language choices that are made within language planning? Language choices that individuals make when they are talking to each other? How do languages actually define relative power that one individual or a group or a community enjoys in relation to the other? How is language related to identity? These are the questions: national identity, communal identity, and then this deliberate construction of an identity that you would like to sort of impose on the other person by deliberately engaging to identify with another community. What role does language play there? Language use and relationships, we talked about it. We will also explore the question whether multilingualism is a resource or is it a burden? Is it problematic? Was it better for Pakistan if we had just one languages, or does it help us to have different languages? What about the efficiency of institutions? How would different languages or multilingualism affect the working of different institutions? What about education? Should we have different mediums of instruction? Should we use different types of languages in education, or are we good with one language over there? So, language planning choice. What are the political exigencies that are languages related to political choices? How do they relate to political choices? We will also explore it later in the course in more detail, but we will sort of touch upon this issue in the coming modules and identity issues as we discussed. Now, when we are talking about multilingualism, it would be very helpful that constantly as you go through these modules, you think about your own Pakistani context, which is definitely a multilingual context, and ask yourself, which languages do you know? Are you a bilingual? Are you a multilingual? And does it matter that the language repertoire that you have, how does it affect your life? Would it be better or would it be more helpful if you would know more languages? Would it be helpful if you knew one specific language? And how would it affect you? And then how would it not only affect you generally, but how would it affect you in terms of certain domains, in the economic domain, in the social domain, in the domain of physical well-being, in the domain of psychological well-being? All of these, whether you have thought about it or not, it affects your whole being and your existence within the social milieu. And this is all because of the sociopolitics of bilingualism. So we'll try to understand the aspect of sociopolitics of bilingualism as we go through different modules.